My beloved child, come closer. Let me draw you into the sacred space where heaven's whispers meet your weary heart. Let me speak to you softly, yet with the unshakable authority of the one who sent me. There is a weight you've carried in your chest, a heaviness you could not name, a storm of confusion and setbacks that seemed to rise from nowhere. You've wrestled with questions, wondering if you were imagining things, if your instincts were betraying you, if the chaos swirling around you was merely a trick of your mind. But no, my dear, you were not imagining. What you felt was real. What stirred in your spirit was true. I was there, standing in the unseen, watching as the enemy worked through human hands to steal something sacred, your name. I saw the moment it happened. I saw the audacity of those who did not tremble as they took what was yours, who did not flinch as they forged your identity, who did not hesitate to wield your name as a tool for their gain. They didn't ask for your permission. They didn't bow their heads in prayer. They didn't honor the sanctity of your voice. Instead, they twisted it, manipulated it, and placed it in hands that were never meant to hold it. But heaven saw. Heaven knew. And I was sent to uncover it, to declare to you that the God of justice is moving on your behalf. This was no small act. It was not just a matter of ink on paper or a signature on a document. It was an assault on your divine identity, an attempt to disrupt the covenant God has placed over your life. They thought they could rewrite your story with a stroke of a pen, that they could alter your destiny with a lie, that they could silence your voice with their deception. But what they failed to understand is that your name is not merely a collection of letters, it is a declaration of heaven's purpose. Before you were formed in your mother's womb, your name was written in the Lamb's Book of Life. Before the foundations of the earth were laid, God spoke your name with intention, with promise, with power. No earthly scheme, no forged agreement, no human betrayal can undo what the Creator has ordained. Your name carries weight. It carries legacy. It carries a divine assignment that the enemy fears, and that is why he stirred someone close to you, someone you trusted, to betray you. This betrayal was not the work of a stranger. It was not a distant enemy lurking in the shadows. No, it was someone you let into your inner circle, someone who sat at your table, who shared in your laughter, who saw the tears you cried. Perhaps it was someone you confided in, someone you leaned on, someone who knew the contours of your heart. And yet, in secret, they took what was yours. They sat in dimly lit rooms, whispering lies, plotting schemes, and signing your name where it did not belong. They used your identity like a key to unlock doors that were never meant for them, doors to riches, to influence, to power. They thought their actions were hidden, that their plans were airtight, that no one would ever know. But heaven was watching. The eyes of the Lord, which roam to and fro across the earth, saw every moment. The angels recorded every word. And the Spirit of God heard the cry of your soul as it groaned under the weight of their deception. You felt it, didn't you? The shift in the atmosphere, the sudden heaviness that settled over your life. Things that once flowed effortlessly began to feel like labor. Opportunities that were within your reach slipped through your fingers. Finances that should have been stable became tangled. Relationships that should have been steady grew strained. You began to question yourself, to wonder why everything felt off, why your spirit was restless, why your peace was disturbed. You may have even blamed yourself, thinking you had missed a step, made a mistake, or fallen short of God's favor. But no, my child, this was not your doing. This was the spiritual weight of a false agreement, a lie written in your name, a covenant you never consented to. The enemy used someone you trusted to forge a contract with darkness, to bind you to something you never agreed to. And as that lie took root, it created a ripple effect, clouding your mind, slowing your steps, and dimming your vision. But heaven heard your cry. Your soul's groaning reached the throne of God like incense, rising pure and urgent, and the Father responded. I was there, my child, in the heavenly courts when your case was brought before the Judge of all creation. I stood as a witness, testifying on your behalf. I declared, this child is innocent. This child did not authorize this agreement. This child has been falsely bound by a lie. And the God who sees all, who weighs every heart, who knows every secret, listened. The gavel of divine justice came down not on you, but on the one who dared to misuse your name. The verdict was clear, what was done in secret will be judged in the open. Not with the flawed justice of man, which can be swayed by bribes or bias, but with the righteous justice of heaven, swift, sharp, and unyielding. There is no corner dark enough to hide from the eyes of the Lord. There is no lie clever enough to withstand the light of His truth. And now, that light is shining. It is exposing the deception. It is breaking the chains. It is severing the ties that were never meant to bind you. I know your heart aches, my child. I know the sting of betrayal cuts deeper than any physical wound. This was not just a legal violation, it was personal. It was a violation of trust, a desecration of the sacred bond you shared with the one who betrayed you. They looked you in the eyes while hiding the truth in their hands. They smiled while wielding a pen that stabbed your future. They may have convinced others, perhaps even themselves, that their actions were justified, that they had no choice, that it was just business. But God weighs the heart, and what He found in their heart was deception. Yet do not let this pain define you. Do not let bitterness take root in your soul. For what the enemy meant for evil, God is turning for good. Your name is being cleared. The burden is being lifted. The curse is being broken. You will no longer be bound to what you never agreed to. Even now, I see angels surrounding you, their wings shimmering with the glory of heaven's mandate. They carry scrolls in their hands, the divine records of who you are, of what belongs to you, of the promises spoken over your life before time began. I see them erasing the lies from spiritual documents, tearing apart every false agreement, setting fire to every forged contract. And your name, my child, shines brighter than ever. It is pure. It is untouched. It is holy, just as heaven intended. No longer tangled in the enemy's schemes. No longer weighed down by confusion. No longer bound to lies. A great reversal is unfolding before your eyes. Doors that were closed because of that false signature are swinging open again. Opportunities that were stolen are being restored. Finances that were frozen are being loosed. Peace that was disturbed is returning, and not just as it was, but multiplied, overflowing, abundant. For every tear you've shed, there is a harvest of joy coming. For every sleepless night, there is a morning of breakthrough rising. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You are not defined by the lie they are. You are defined by the promise, by the covenant God made with you before the stars were hung in the sky. The one who took your name in vain will answer for it, not to you first, but to the God who wrote your name in eternity. This is not about revenge, my child. This is about restoration, and restoration runs deeper than compensation. It is not just about giving you back what was lost it is about aligning you with heaven's rhythm once more. It is about clearing the spiritual fog that clouded your vision. It is about awakening your soul to the truth of who you are. You've been walking under a shadow that wasn't yours, and now the light is breaking through. The false contract is cancelled. The unauthorized agreement is void. The curse is shattered. And your destiny is breathing again, alive with the fire of God's purpose. Even as I speak, angels are moving on your behalf. They have been dispatched to carry out divine orders, to bring correction to every place where your name was misused. They are stepping into offices where documents were signed, into courtrooms where lies were upheld, into family circles where secrets were whispered, into financial systems where your blessings were diverted. They are bringing exposure. They are bringing truth. You won't have to chase down answers. You won't have to fight to prove your innocence. Heaven is doing what man cannot. The truth is coming to you, and when it arrives, it will come with peace, not panic. It will come with clarity, not chaos. For God is not a God of confusion but of order, and He is setting your life back in order. Your name, my child, is not ordinary. It is a key that unlocks generational blessings. It carries the prayers of your ancestors, whispered in faith across centuries. It holds the power to open doors of freedom, and not just for you, but for those connected to you, for those who will come after you. That is why the enemy targeted it. That is why the betrayal cut so deeply. It wasn't just about a document or a deal, it was about your purpose. But the enemy overplayed his hand. What he meant to bury you with will now elevate you. What he forged in secret will now expose him. What he used to harm you will now testify to your victory. This is not the end of your story, my child, it is the beginning of your redemption. You are stepping into a season of divine validation. The heavens are proclaiming your innocence, and with that innocence comes recompense. God is not only clearing your name here, He is blessing it. He is attaching favor to it. He is restoring honor to it. Even those who doubted you will soon speak differently. Even those who stayed silent will be compelled to acknowledge the truth, not because of pressure, but because of the undeniable power of God. The hand of the Lord is heavy upon this situation, and no one can escape His justice. Your voice is returning, stronger and clearer than ever. Your spiritual authority is rising, unshaken by the lies that tried to silence you. You will no longer be timid. You will no longer doubt your discernment. What you felt in your spirit was real. What you saw in your dreams, what you sensed in moments of quiet prayer, that was the Holy Spirit speaking. Trust it. Honor it. For the Lord is revealing even more. This exposure is just the beginning. Other layers of deception are being peeled back. Other lies are being dismantled. You are being prepared not just to survive this trial, but to rise above it, to speak with boldness, to teach with wisdom, to warn with clarity, to lead with courage. There are others who have had their names stolen, their identities misused, their destinies targeted, and your victory will become their hope. Your testimony will light the way for those still trapped in the shadows. So breathe, my child. The pressure is breaking. The tide is turning. The truth is marching forward, and you are standing on the right side of it. You don't need to fight this battle in the flesh. You only need to stand still and watch the salvation of the Lord. I am here, guarding you, shielding you, clearing the path before you. Soon, you will see with your own eyes what heaven has already declared. Your name is redeemed, your destiny is intact, and your story is far from over. This is your moment of restoration. Let your heart rest in it. Let your spirit rise in it. Let your faith carry you through it. For the Lord your God is mighty, and he has declared, justice is served, and my child is free. The weight you've carried, my child, was not yours to bear. It was a burden placed upon you by someone else's choices, by their greed, their envy, their fear of your light. Your name is more than a word, it is a banner, a declaration of who you are in the Spirit. It is a sound that resonates in the heavens, a melody that God himself composed when he formed you. The enemy knows this. He knows the power your name carries, the authority it holds, the promises it unlocks. That is why he didn't send a stranger to steal it. He used someone close, someone who knew the value of what they were taking. They saw your potential, your favor, your anointing, and instead of celebrating it, they coveted it. Instead of protecting you, they betrayed you. This betrayal may have felt like a sudden storm, but it was not random. The enemy is strategic. He doesn't waste his efforts on those who pose no threat to his kingdom. The fact that your name was targeted is proof of your significance. You are not ordinary. You are not insignificant. You are a vessel of divine purpose, a carrier of heaven's glory, a light in a world of shadows. And the enemy hates that light. He hates the way it pierces his darkness, the way it exposes his lies, the way it draws others to the truth. So he orchestrated this betrayal, hoping to dim your light, to silence your voice, to delay your destiny. But he underestimated you. He underestimated the God who holds you in his hands. When your cry reached heaven, it was not ignored. The throne room of God is not a place of bureaucracy or delay. It is a place of action, of justice, of power. I was there when the angels gathered, when the books were opened, when your case was brought before the king. I saw the accuser, the enemy, standing with his lies, trying to justify the theft of your name. But his words crumbled under the weight of heaven's truth. The Father looked at you, his beloved, and saw your innocence. He saw your heart, pure despite the pain. He saw your spirit, steadfast despite the storm. And he spoke a word that shook the heavens, enough. That word resounded through the spiritual realm, breaking chains, shattering lies, dismantling every false agreement. The angels moved swiftly, carrying out the Father's command. They descended to the places where your name was misused, offices, courtrooms, secret meetings, and they began to set things right. They tore up the contracts that were never yours. They burned the documents that bore your forged signature. They spoke the truth over every lie, declaring your innocence, your freedom, your restoration. And they are still moving, my child. They are still working. The process of justice is unfolding, and it will not stop until every wrong is made right. I know the pain of this betrayal runs deep. It is not just about what was done you, it is about who did it. The one who betrayed you was not a faceless enemy but a familiar face, someone you trusted, someone you loved. Perhaps it was a friend who shared your secrets, a family member who knew your dreams, a colleague who saw your hard work. They knew the weight of your name, and yet they used it for their gain. They saw your vulnerability and exploited it. They saw your light and tried to steal it. And that betrayal hurts more than any physical wound because it cuts at the soul. Your name, my child, is a divine signature. It is a seal of heaven's approval, a mark of God's ownership over your life. When you were born, the angels rejoiced, for they knew the plans God had for you were plans to prosper you, to give you hope, to lead you into a future filled with purpose. Jeremiah 29 hours 11 minutes. Your name is tied to those plans. It is a key that unlocks the blessings God has stored up for you. It is a declaration of your identity as a child of the Most High, a co-heir with Christ, a carrier of His glory. That is why the enemy targeted your name. He knows that if he can tarnish it, if he can misuse it, if he can tie it to lies, he can disrupt the flow of God's blessings in your life. But his power is limited. His schemes are temporary. What he meant to destroy you, God is using to elevate you. The very thing that was meant to break you is becoming the platform for your breakthrough. The lie that was spoken against you is becoming the testimony of your victory. The betrayal that wounded you is becoming the story of your redemption. Restoration is not a single memento, it is a process, a journey, a divine unfolding. God is not just giving you back what was stolen, He is giving you more than you lost. He is the God of abundance, the God who restores double for your trouble. Zechariah 9:12. The doors that were closed are opening wider than before. The opportunities that were taken are returning in greater measure. The peace that was disturbed is coming back with a strength that cannot be shaken. And the name that was misused is being honored, not just by man, but by heaven itself. This restoration is not just about material things, it is about your soul, your spirit, your purpose. God is clearing the spiritual fog that clouded your vision. He is healing the wounds that betrayal left behind. He is awakening your discernment, sharpening your spiritual senses, and restoring your confidence in the voice of the Holy Spirit. You will no longer question what you feel. You will no longer doubt what you see. You will walk in the authority of one who knows who they are and whose they are. Even now, the angels are at work. They are moving in the unseen, carrying out the Father's orders. They are standing at the gates of justice, ensuring that every lie is exposed, every wrong is righted, every stolen blessing is returned. They are in the places where your name was misused: offices, courtrooms, financial systems, family circles. They are bringing correction where there was corruption, truth where there was deception, light where there was darkness. You may not see them with your physical eyes, but you will feel the shift. You will sense the change. You will know that something is happening, that the tide is turning, that the weight is lifting. These angels are not acting on their own, they are moving under the authority of the King. They carry scrolls with heaven's decrees, declarations of your innocence, your freedom, your restoration. They are erasing the lies from the spiritual records, burning the false agreements, and rewriting the truth. And as they work, they are singing over you, declaring the promises of God, reminding you of who you are. You are not a victim. You are not a casualty. You are a victor, a warrior, a child of the King. The enemy thought he could outsmart heaven. He thought he could use a human heart to carry out his plans, to steal your name, to derail your destiny. But he miscalculated. He forgot that the God who created you is also the God who sustains you. He forgot that the one who wrote your name in the book of life is also the one who defends it. He forgot that no weapon formed against you can prosper. Isaiah 54 hours 17 minutes. What he meant for evil, God is turning for good. Genesis 50 hours 20 minutes. What he used to harm you will now testify to your triumph. The one who betrayed you will face the consequences of their actions, and not because you seek revenge, but because God is just. They will answer to the one who sees all, who knows all, who judges righteously. Their deception may have worked for a season, but seasons change. The truth is coming to light, and it will not be stopped. The lies they told, the plans they made, the agreements they forged, they are crumbling under the weight of heaven's justice. Your role, my child, is to stand. Not to fight in the flesh, not to strive in your own strength, but to stand in the assurance of who you are in Christ. Stand in the truth that you are loved, chosen, and redeemed. Stand in the promise that God is working all things together for your good, Romans 8:28. Stand in the faith that what was stolen is being restored, what was broken is being mended, what was lost is being found. This is not a time for fear or doubt. This is a time for faith, for trust, for expectation. The God who parted the Red Sea, who raised Lazarus from the dead, who turned water into wine, he is the same God who is moving on your behalf. He is not distant. He is not silent. He is near, and he is speaking. Listen to his voice. Trust his timing. Rest in his promises. For he is faithful, and his word never returns void. Isaiah 55 hours 11 minutes. You are entering a season of divine validation. The heavens are declaring your innocence, and the earth will soon echo their song. Those who doubted you will see the truth. Those who stayed silent will speak up. Those who stood against you will be humbled, and not by your hand, but by the hand of God. His favor is upon you, and it will be evident to all. Your name will no longer be associated with lies or betrayal. It will be associated with honor, with blessing, with victory. This validation is not just for you, it is for those who come after you. Your story will become a testimony, a beacon of hope for others who have been betrayed, whose names have been stolen, whose destinies have been targeted. You will speak, and your words will carry weight. You will teach, and your wisdom will guide others. You will lead, and your courage will inspire those who are afraid to step into their purpose. Your victory is not just so, it is a victory for the kingdom, a triumph for the glory of God. Restoration is coming, my child, and it is coming in waves. It is not a trickle but a flood, not a whisper but a roar. God is restoring your peace, your joy, your confidence, your purpose. He is restoring the years the locusts have eaten, Joel 2:25. He is restoring the blessings that were stolen, the opportunities that were blocked, the relationships that were strained. And He is doing it in a way that will leave no doubt that it is His hand at work. You will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living, Psalm 27:13. You will see the truth come to light. You will see your name honored, your destiny restored, your story redeemed. And when it happens, you will know that it was not by your strength, but by the power of the God who loves you, who sees you, who fights for you. So rise, my child. Rise above the pain, the betrayal, the lies. Rise into the truth of who you are. Rise into the purpose God has placed within you. Rise into the destiny that no one can steal. Your name is not a curse, it is a blessing. Your life is not a tragedy, it is a testimony. Your story is not over, it is just beginning. The pressure is breaking. The chains are falling. The light is shining. And you, my beloved, are free. Walk in that freedom. Speak from that freedom. Live from that freedom. For the Lord your God has declared it, and His word is final, justice is served, and my child is free.